the late 1950s, an engineering team from a sleepy suburb of Coventry set about designing a car in secret. With their cash-strapped employers focused on existing projects, the group worked after hours, even hiding the prototype under a dust sheet so no one would see it. Tipping their hat to a wartime aircraft of the same name, they called it the Bomb. We know it as the Triumph Spitfire. At the time, Britain was still shaking off the soot of post-war austerity. The Beatles were dreaming of their first single, the Cuban Missile Crisis, was just around the corner, and the idea of owning a second car, let alone a sports car, was merely a pipe dream. When British Leyland bought Triumph in 1960, the new bosses found the prototype tucked away in the corner of the factory. They fell in love immediately, greenlit the project, and within 2 years the first Spitfire was rolling off the production line. Designed by Italian stylist Giovanni Michelotti, the man behind the Lancia Appia Coupe, Maserati 3500 GT Spider and the timeless Ferrari 166 Inter, and made its debut at the 1962 Earls Court Motor Show to glorious fanfare. A small, simple, affordable British sports car for the masses. Over the years, the Spitfire evolved. The Mark II, Mark III and Mark IV, each a refinement, a response to changing tastes, safety standards and ever-tightening emissions laws, which at the time were merely a polite suggestion. This particular model is the last of the breed. Built in a time when British Leyland was beginning to crumble under the weight of strikes, budget cuts and the chaos of nationalisation. Sound familiar? It's a 1975 inline four-cylinder 1500. It came with twin carburettors, a top speed of 100 mile an hour-ish, and 0 to 60 in just over a couple of weeks. But today, this car is 50 years old and cost just £4,000. And I'll challenge any of you to find a 50-year-old with £4,000 in their skyrocket. That sounds as good as this. Inside, you're transported to a time when life was much simpler. It smells of oil, it's analogue, the steering is heavy, unassisted and mostly direct. And yes, the gearbox is clunky, but 4-speed with overdrive that works, it's so satisfying. It's like singing on the terraces at the top of your lungs versus watching the match at home on your dodgy stick. In 1980, Motorsport magazine described this as the sort of car people wave at, even though they don't know what it is. And I can personally vouch that statement is as true today as it was then. In total, over 314,000 Spitfires were built at Canby Works between 1962 and 1980, many of them shipped out to the US. The last count estimated around 11,000 of those are still in circulation, about 3.5% of production, and that's worldwide. Here in the UK, less than 2,000 are registered on the road. Not quite unicorn status, I admit, but they are becoming increasingly rare, and that is a statistic that's only set to continue. So the question is, should you buy one? Well, the honest answer, like anything in life, is it depends. When he was young, my dad had one. Now, sadly, he's no longer with us, but when I'm in this, I feel closer to him. And that's the point of a car like this. You don't buy it for its horsepower, its revs per minute, or its miles to the gallon. You buy it because of how it makes you feel. If your why is to tootle to the shops or have somewhere to store your Greg's latte on the way to the office, truthfully, it's probably not for you. But if you want something that sparks conversation, something that challenges you, terrifies you in equal measure, something that brings joy to every single petrol station and supermarket car park you visit, something terribly British, a more importantly, something that makes people smile, reminisce, and share stories of a time when the world was a bit less Elon Musk. Well, the Triumph Spitfire, designed not for a paycheck, but for the simple joy of creating something fun, may well be one of the finest examples there is